Shalom, shalom. I'm your brother Kaya from JMS Camp out here in Phoenix, Arizona. First and foremost is I want to give us all praise, glory, and honor. It's to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rahak. Of course, I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders that have taught us this truth and rule well. Also want to say shalom to the 144,000. I want to say shalom to you speckled bird out there, even though you may look like the heathen, but are not the heathen. Also want to say shalom to the Akwaf and to the Akim out there. Shalom. Hey, man, coming with some good news, coming with the good news. Beautiful news. As we see today, everything gearing up that Esau's kingdom is coming to an end. We see, the heathen. You see the heathen, driving around with their missiles and their nukes and they, doing their little parades and whatnot. In the back of their minds, everybody else got next. In the back of their minds, everybody else thinks they got next. Everybody think they're going to be the next superpower, because that's one of those things that people have talked about. Well, if America falls, who's going to be the next superpower? Would it be Russia? Would it be China? And even though it may look that way, that's not the way it's going to go. Yahweh Ba'ashem told us that we're going to have the heathens in subjection. The heathens are not going to be ruling, not at all. It doesn't matter how many missiles they have, how much power they have right now, because Yahweh Shai is coming to snatch all power away. Remember that. It may seem as if they have next. From the flesh, looking at it like, man, yeah, you know what? We can see China doing it. Yeah, we can see China. Look at China. China is China or Japan and all that. They are, very techy to say. They are smarter than the average American here in Babylon. You know what I'm saying? You would think that China, Japan, and some of them would have next. We're going to get a few scriptures to let you know that they don't. No heathen has next. I think that's in Psalms. Is that 2:1? Why does the heathen rage? It's vain. They pumping their chest. Oh, yeah, we got next, man. We going to be the next superpower. We going to run shit. And here comes that monkey wrench. Here comes that monkey wrench right in their plans. Right into them gears, tear them gears all the way up. Because at the end of the day, that's exactly how the heathen think. When you listen to them, when they're having their little powwows, their little meetings or whatever, they talk with that pride of, yeah, we're going to have next. We're going to be next in power, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to rule with this, and we're going to join with so-and-so and so-and-so for the humanity of people, for the best of the people, which still is some bullshit. Because guess what? The RFID microchip ain't just going to be here in Babylon. It's going to be where? New World Order. You remember the word world, the whole earth. So that means China, Japan, all these other places. And guess what? They're going to be chipping people. It is what it is. Now, of course, here in Babylon, but guess what? It's going to be other places too. It's a new world order. They going to be fighting about who got next. And as we see, Yahweh Ba'ashem got what? He got the enemy all messed up in the mind. He got Esau messed up. He's losing everything. He don't know what he doing. He about to come into draconian law. You got the heathens looking at Esau, eating for who he really is. They know that this man is the devil. They're like, man, look, at the end of the day, as long as he don't rule, we don't give a damn. But that's not true, because they definitely don't want us to rule, which is exactly what's going to happen. When Yahweh Shai come back and we get into the kingdom, the heathens will not be ruling anything. They are in the trick bag. They are being used to destroy Esau, Edom. When you go into the book of Ezekiel, what is that, the 38th chapter, and you understand that Russia's a guard to all these heathens and whatnot, you start to understand how the game is about to be played. At the end of the day, they think they're going to have it, but they're not. So let's get a few scriptures to prove it, right? Let's go into the book of Psalms. So this is Psalms 33 and verse 10. This is Psalms 33 and 10. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathens to naught. He maketh the device of the people of non-effect. So going back into what? He makes they bring the counsel of the heathens to naught. Their counsel is not going to work out. It's not going to go the way they think it's going to go. At the end of the day, yeah, they can sit there and be like, oh yeah, we got this and we got that. heathen.Shall say, yeah, all right, we'll see. We'll see. Because at the end of the day, once again, the heathen are in the trick bag also. You think about who's all in the trick bag. It's a lot of people in the trick bag. A whole lot of people. Esau, Edom, with all his pride. These so-called Caucasians out here, these white people so-called. They in the trick bag. Look at how prideful they are. These other heathen nations, look how prideful they are. All you do is pay attention to what they be saying. Look how they move. Look how they act. They really think they got next. And at the end of the day, they are in the trick bag. They just don't see it. They just don't realize they in there. 2/3 of our people are in the trick bag. Because 2/3 of our people are what? Hand in hand with society. Hand in hand with Esau, Edom. Hand in hand with the heathens. So guess what? They in the trick bag too. Because they really believe, oh, well, if China do it or so-and-so do it, we going to be good anyway it go. Or they believe, 2/3 of our people believe, that America's going to just come on through. That's not what the scriptures say. The scriptures say that America, Babylon, a.k.a. America, land of confusion, the land of Chaldees, Egypt, Basra, all them names that can be synonymous with this place is going to be destroyed. Wiped out, bombed out, and depleted. As we see, Israel too. All these names. What do you think Iran about to do? You think Iran going to let that slide? Maybe for right now. Maybe for right now. But things going to heat up. And that's what we see today. We seeing all that infighting. We seeing all them pumping the chest. We see them all building nukes. We see what's really about to come. We see the draconian law that Esau, Edom about to bring. We understand what's about to come. But I'm telling you now, hey, these heathens don't have necks. Matter of fact, let's get another scripture. Let's go into the book. Matter of fact, Obadiah even tell you that. Let's go to the book of Obadiah, right? Obadiah chapter 1, of course, only one chapter. And we're going to get verse, 16? Obadiah 1, 15 through 16. Let me see. And let's see what it says. This is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 15 and 16. We're going to get it in the NLT, right? This is Obadiah 1 and 15 and 16. Edom destroyed, Israel restored. The day is near when I, the Lord, will judge all godless nations. As you have done to Israel, so it will be done to you. All your evil deeds will fall back on your own heads. So what makes you think with that scripture that the heathens are going to escape the judgment of heathen.Shall? As you see here, they're not. So how would they be in power? They're in power now, but once this raggedy kingdom fall, they ain't gonna be in no power. Power's gonna be snatched away from them. It ain't just Esau, Edom. These heathens' power is gonna be snatched from them also. Right? Let's get that again. Obadiah 1 and 15 in NLT. The day is near when I, the Lord, will judge all godless nations. As you have done to Israel, so it will be done to you. And Israel is a people before a place. Just in case somebody want to say, well, see, he's talking about Israel. He's not talking about the place over there in the so-called, which y'all call so-called the Middle East, Western Asia. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about the people. What the heathens, what Esau, Edom has done to the people of Israel. When you go into the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter, it tells you all them that was confederate against thee, all the things that they done to us when we was enslaved with them throughout the Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, all the way down to the Egyptians and all the way through till now. We've always been in the heathens or Esau, Edom's hands for our transgressions. But at the end of the day, heathen.Shall is like, all right, cool, y'all served y'all's punishment. It's time for theirs. And when they get their punishment, after their punishment done, they're not